Hello there. Building a monitoring platform can feel a little bit difficult to do for some people, but it's not really that difficult. This is why I want to show you the Terraform module we created at Digitalis to install and configure all the monitoring components we usually use with our customers. In here, we're going to show you how to install Grafana for the dashboards, Loki for logs, Tempo for traces, Mimir as the Prometheus long-term storage, Pyroscope for profiling, Clickhouse as a database for the metrics and traces, and OpenTelemetry to ingest metrics and traces. So everything is in a single Terraform repository, like I was saying. It's actually pretty well documented, and you can pick and choose the components you want to install. For example, you don't need to install Clickhouse. If you have a small platform, you just prefer to use Tempo, that's absolutely fine. And same for Loki or one of the other components. Once you have everything installed using Terraform, you will get a dashboard that looks a bit like this. And here you will have connected the different data sources by default. So I decided to build for this environment everything. So I have Clickhouse that is receiving traces from OpenTelemetry and logs. Loki that is receiving logs from legacy applications, like applications that don't support OpenTelemetry, for example. Mimir, all the metrics are stored into long-term storage using S3 in this case. And Pyroscope is for the application profiling. And Tempo, very similar to Clickhouse, also receives traces from OpenTelemetry. So both are a bit exclusive. You don't need the both. You can use either Tempo or Clickhouse, but for this demo, I'm gonna show you them both. So what this gives us, it gives us logs. So I can start the way going to the logs and drill down into any application logs I have been collecting. This is the logs received by Loki, and also get the traces received by Tempo. So you can see in here I have my traces with all the details. These traces are being generated using the Golang auto instrumentation. So they're quite basic. They don't offer a huge amount of detail, but once you got the OpenTelemetry SDK enabled on your applications, you will get a much better results than just the auto instrumentation. Having said that, auto instrumentation is brilliant to start with. Uses CBGP and is really simple to set up in Kubernetes. You can see here that some of the containers have been created for the test. So I've got two of these low DB queries and another one to process orders. Again, you can see all the details of the traces. I get the same output using Clickhouse. You will want to use Clickhouse for large deployments, more than a few servers, just because it's much faster than Loki and Tempo. It's one of the issues we found with Loki is that after 10,000, when you put in logs of after 10,000 results, it can slow down a lot. But with Clickhouse, you don't have that issue. It's much faster. So in here you can see the logs. I'm gonna do a very simple query for the logs, and you can see then in here different output than before, but it's basically the same content. Exactly the same thing for telemetry. If I want to see traces, select traces using all the defaults. So run the query, and then here they are, the traces, similar that I was using before when I was demonstrating Tempo. So in here you can see actually you got a trace that's got an exception, so we can drill down to this exception and see what's going on. So that gives you a really good overview of your applications, and you can trace any issues. One of the great things about using OpenTelemetry is you can link logs against traces. So often you can, when you configure them, when you spot error in your logs, you can click on the error log, and then that will give you the trace. or the opposite. You can find the trace, click on it, and find the logs for it. So we now have Clickhouse for logs and traces. Loki is the legacy, so you got applications that don't support OpenTelemetry but still support traditional logs. You can use them. Very simple to use, just run a single query and you get the logs for that service running on Kubernetes. The other things you can do profiling. Profiling is brilliant especially for Golang applications. They do a fantastic job with them. So what profiling gives you, access to the profiling of your applications to see issues that may occur. For example, I've got a Go routine here running, and I can investigate whether it's an issue with my application, maybe some memory or spikes or things like that. It gives you a fantastic way of improving your apps. And that together with the telemetry for the errors, you have everything covered. Periscope is actually really good about that. You can see the same thing on the Explore. You want more detail. Those are pre-built configurations through dashboards, but you can go through the raw data and do it on your own. Here you can see again the view that gives you for every single routine this Golang application is running, and you can drill down into them and figure out what's going on, why it's slowing down. Maybe perhaps a SQL query that's running too slow, or is timing out connecting to a third-party service. This is the sort of things you can figure out quickly with Periscope. You can set all of this up into dashboards, and that will give you. Let's have a look, for example like Clickhouse dashboard, like this one. This is monitoring the Clickhouse application itself, and you can see the traces you've been receiving, and you can drill down into the services, investigate any of the traces, and do the correlation with the logs as well. So you can find out that this log occurred when this trace was being created. So really good way of seeing your data. And on top of that, you can obviously have all the standard dashboards for your cluster. This is running Kubernetes, by the way. It's probably obvious by now. You can see here that all the metrics for the Kubernetes cluster has been collected by the Prometheus operator. And you can see, pretty much everything is so. This cluster has only been running for an hour or so, so some of the data is still empty. And you can monitor your own the Clickhouse itself by looking into what's been doing. So I can see it's only been running for 47 minutes when I built the cluster with Terraform. And then lastly, alerting. So once you get your applications up and running, you want to be able to alert when anything is going wrong, so you can create alerts for anything that is occurring on your cluster. And when an alert triggers, you can alert via any of the supported notification methods like Slack or PagerDuty or simple email address. So that pretty much gives you an end-to-end infrastructure for your monitoring platform, and you get the logs, the traces, the alerts, and everything in one simple Kubernetes cluster, and everything deployed with a single Terraform module. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.